Alright, so after a tense meeting in the bottle and book, the party learned some troubling news. Towns along the local trade routes were being overcome by storms, and rumors have been spreading through the area that the storm god himself might be once again returning to the region. The owner of the book and bottle gave you a couple of warnings to be careful in the desert, as danger potentially may be looming. And after receiving fair warning, the group then turned their attention to preparing for the journey ahead. After weighing the merits of selling the cart or pursuing with it, they decide to keep it and stock up on extra supplies for the trip through the desert. And then the party delved into the black market seeking rations, diamonds, and a couple of other goods. But while there, they overheard talk of refugees fleeing the sands and saw firsthand how fear of an almighty dragon was already twisting the underbelly of the city. The party's dealings grew tense when a spell was used against a vendor, sparking confrontation with the market crowd, and though they managed to escape, blades drawn, Yelena snatched a necklace from the chaos. Its jagged quills and onyx metal hinting at some hidden power potentially. With supplies secured, Dusted, Lunan, Valrus, and Yolena set out across the sands. Together they planned the route carefully, withstanding the blistering heat in their long journey to Alar. But on the second night, as the campfire burned low, a sickly stench drifted on the wind. Lunan saw the dunes shift and split suddenly as a hulking, insect-ridden abomination crawled forth, its body writhing and covered with vermin. And with very little chance to flee, the party now braced themselves as the monster has burst through the dunes and into their camp. All right. I need to roll initiative for the creature. It's plus 2. So that puts it on a 10. Alright, so Valrus, it is just before you, but we are going to kick off with Dusted Coal leading us into battle, followed by Yolena. Mm-hmm. Cool. .28 is a definite hit. Have at thee, monster. Mm-hmm. Nice. That also hits. Nice. Sap, one action. Nice. Awesome. Nice. 46, yeah? Okay. All right. Dusted. All right, as you step up to this creature, with your rapier in hand, each stab and step forward, as you thrust and stab, the creature shrieks, and as it does, roll a perception check for me, please. Oh, a perception check is always good. A perception check of 12 is all right. Um, all right. As you stab into it, the soft, almost fleshy parts appear to give way as you recognize there's not a hell of a lot of flesh on the surface of this creature. It is writhing and covered with vermin, essentially. You make out cockroaches, small, minute rats, worms sticking out of it, almost as if they're like embedded within its skin. Great big giant spiders and ants that seem to crawl all over it with speed, and as the blade stabs into it, one or two of them leap onto the blade and fall off as it slices them, or they lose their grip. But when they hit the ground, they just seem to carry on running, almost before your eyes, like splitting in different parts. But each strike that you do does indeed inflict damage. That's the end of your turn. All right. Then that brings us to Yelena. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's pretty good, right? Yeah. Uh, Ah, okay. What for? Are you asking about the necrotic damage if it's extra? All right. All right. Yeah, why don't you describe to us how you run up and blast it with this spell of yours then? Mm-hmm. Okay. And the hex, why don't you describe how that works? Why don't you give us a color? I It's your character. All right. So your necrotic hex damage is white. Wow. Thank you for that. Can you roll a perception? Can you roll a perception check for me, please? Fair. In fact, as you saunter across the sand and gingerly make your way, so that don't scuff any of your shoes on this filthy sand, you sort of point around behind Dustin and just pew pew pew, as you were saying, fire off 3 bolts, each of them flaring with this brilliant white hexing necrotic damage that seems to just strike. And as it does, the creature lets out a great shriek chittering away as it does too. The damage is definitely being inflicted. What else have you got in the tool bag, in your tool bag there, Yelena? Okay. Then next up is Lunan, followed by the creature. That's a good question. We would have to. Which one do you think? I would say maybe religion, history, or arcana. If that is what you're focusing on, then the religion aspect, or I mean, you're not close enough to make a medicine check. I'm giving you the option. Okay. All right. Lunan. All right. Is this using your action to investigate, or what is the action called again? This just you looking at it. Okay. Um, as you gaze over this creature, taking into account your religious background and your skill at it, you are looking at it from a perspective where one would consider death and undead being able to be an issue of the soul, really. Um, and of course, you've got a lot of experience with undead. This creature, however, is writhing with other living creatures, almost acting as parasite on top of it. It strongly leads you to believe that this is definitely not an undead creature. If anything, if anything, it is quite possibly against all religion. It is a monstrosity. Dawn. What's the second circle for? Oh, a better. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Oh, wow, that looks quite cool. That radiant circle. Yeah, the monster's got a roll. Sorry, I'm multitasking. Constitution save, yes? Wow, I didn't. It, yeah, it managed to make its saving throw. Ooh, half of that. All right. Um, and Radiant, and why don't you roll a perception check for me? Let me just record the radiant damage. 29, right? Wow. It's it is gargantuan. Yes. I just want to find an image quickly before. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. No, that's. Oh. All right. There you go. I've added it to the handouts. It is pretty, isn't it? All right. Lunan. Lunan, can you Lunan just describe how your spell goes off and what the effect is as you cast it? Mm-hmm. Okay. I've only got one observation. Have you moved? All right, because the range says 60-30, and yeah. All right, just because I need you to be a bit closer when I eat you whole. All right, so as Lunan, are you walking or are you running across the sand? All right, so nonchalantly strolling across the sand, Lunan walks the 10 to 15 feet as he then pulls out his sunburst pendant, the light escaping, illuminating the sky as sunlight itself almost seems to descend on the dunes, and as it does, fall across the creature. It begins to shriek and chitter and almost shy away from the bright sunlight as it looms over you, dusted, almost about to attack. Lunan, what else are you going to do? Okay, which then brings us to the creature. All right, first things first then. Dusted, almost trying to escape as quickly as possible. The cockroaches and the rats and the vermin on the back or surrounding this creature leap off it and straight onto you. As they do, can you roll a perception check for me, please? All right. So on their turn, they are going to swarm into your space. Um, I need you. All right. The first thing that they're going to do is they're going to move into your space and they're going to engulf you. So I need you to make a DC 16 strength saving throw, please. An 18 is a save. Nice one. All right, let me just. Now how do I do? All right, as the vermin move into your space, they all start jumping and biting and trying to nip you, tear into you with their teeth and their claws. You do not get overcome, but you do manage to save for half. So that'll be so that's 9 points plus 1 point of necrotic damage. Okay. Then the gargantuan creature. It is going to flee from the sunlight. All right, so it is actually. Hmm. It dives into the sand and burrows underneath. You can get an opportunity attack, yes. That hits. 11 points, nice. Mm-hmm. If you hit a creature with this, nice. Until the start of your next turn. Oh, wow. That. Okay. Um, that then brings us to Valrus. Mm. Yelena's right in front of you. Jokes, jokes. Sorry, Yelena. Oh, which one? Or is it? It's all, is it? Oh, it's a spirit. I know you. Okay, looks like you. The Oh, so it doesn't change between. You actually have to choose a type, do you? Yeah. How large is it? Which which token would you prefer? I'm gonna make it medium. All right, so you want the derpy one, do you? All right. So let me just. AC is 11 plus your spell level. What it's level 5? Level 4, so he's got a 15 AC. Hit points 40 plus 10 for each spell above 4. So he, sorry, does he get to attack straight away, yeah? Cool. Whispering Aura. Nice. So DC 18 Wisdom save, yes? Alright, it gets a +4 to its save. Oof. +4 is 15 altogether. So that's a fail, yeah? 2d6, go on. Nice. Alright. The Psychic Slam. Nice. Mm-hmm. 18 indeed does hit. As your firebolt flies into the middle of this, like, swarm. The Mind Flayer's firebolt. Pew, pew, pew. Oh, that's the slam. Okay. Understood. $19 altogether. Nice. 30 points. That's pretty good. Let me. All right. It decreased in size as you did some damage. Yes. As you started killing off some of the vermin that are now lying on the ground behind it. What else have you got up your sleeve, Valrus? Okay. Which then brings us to the top of the next round with Dusted Coal. Mm-hmm. All right. So the swarm occupies the same space as a creature would, so it would just be difficult terrain. So you're going so you're going to use your attacks as you move through the swarm. Yeah? Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. Uh-huh. Oh, nice. Cheeky. Okay. That's a hit. Again. Mm-hmm. 40. Nice. Eh, all right. Which will bring us to Yelena, followed by Lunan. Mm. With your Eldritch Blast. Ooh. All right. Unfortunately, no. All of them miss as you confidently stand there and just fire off little bolts of your light over there, and they all just manage to miss, you know. The vermin are tricky. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's like your spirit beast. It should be fine, shouldn't it? All right. Which brings us to Lunan. Mm-hmm. Oof. All right, that's a unfortunate miss. Okay. Lunan, roll, and Valrus, roll a perception check for me, please. Mm-hmm. All right, both of you. Um, Ever so slightly, the ground begins to vibrate underneath your feet as you realize that somehow this creature has managed to discover exactly where you are, Lunan, as it bursts up through the sand and lets out a great roar. Hold on, I think I put the sound in here so you didn't have to hear me screech. Ah, thanks. All right, everyone in the green circle. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw, please. DC 18. Or be frightened. That's right, DJ. All right, so Valrus, you suffer the frightened condition until the end of your next turn. Okay, that was one of its attacks, and it is going to then, Lunan, hit you with these almost tentacle-like feelers that are stretching out from the top of its head. As you notice, they are pretty darn long. In fact, yeah, they can easily get you even though you're about 10 feet away. One of them lashes out. Um, he's actually now on double disadvantage. Ah, it was just all right. Then I can take that off. I thought that was until the end of his next turn. And Yelena, his hex on the strength disadvantage is for how many turns? Or is it concentration? Cool. Okay. So that's your big rigged S that he's got on there. Alright, so, Lunan, with your passive perception, even you notice that he is definitely trying to shy away from the sunlight and the bright light. So much so that he's going to have to attack you with disadvantage. So I'll roll 2. And the nat 1, it doesn't even... Alright, the tentacle whips past you, this like horrible, almost like bug infested limb that flaps right towards you and overshoots dramatically as if it was trying to go for Valrus. The next thing it does is it opens its great big maw, and you can see the remains of its last meal inside as it tries to leap forward with its mouth to bite at you. All right. Three plus 19. Oh, he just misses you as you almost lean back. These jaws clamp down in front of your face. the frustration is clear as it almost seems to screech and chitter again. That will bring it to the end of its turn. Dusted. On the ground in front of you. Firstly, let me see. Alright, it doesn't get to engulf you again. It doesn't recharge. So instead, it is going to bite you as it moves forward. Yeah, it's going to have to get to there. Then it's going to attack you with its bite. So that's 5 feet. Ah, even better. It gets +7 to hit. Oof, that was spinning on a 14. So does a 13 hit you? Okay. And then, after it's done that, it is going to move and take off as the entire swarm leaps 10 feet into the air. Yeah, go for it. A 24 does hit. Correct. And this is its. So 2 points, yeah? 8 points. Okay. It has definitely reduced about half size now. This flying swarm of insects. And it has leapt into the air, Yelena. It appears to be leaping towards you. And Sap gives it disadvantage? No. Slows it. Alright. That's right, on the first attack it makes. Let's give it that disadvantage. Alright, that'll bring us to Felris. As you stand there, this creature has burst up out of the ground to attack Lunan. This horrific tentacle just lashed out from its head towards Lunan, missing completely. Mm-hmm. Oh, Psychic Lance. Alright. You want to send that spell to the chat? Nice. You 20 int DC 17. 18. All right. It has. Oh, aren't you lucky? Close. All right. So I need a natural 20 to. Oh, there's the first fail. Ooh, and a 6. Yeah, both are failures. Horribly. Okay, so do you want to re-roll your... Wait, did you roll damage? Yeah, in 20. Yep. Shoot. Inside the beam of light. Ah, nice. I would... A Constitution saving throw, yeah? Alright, so he gets plus 13. So he gets 24. Yeah. And that was... How much is... That was 21, yeah? So half is 10. Okay. It it seems to be taking quite a bit of damage now. It's not halfway down yet, though. Exactly. Um, Felris, anything else in your turn? Yeah. Are you talking about the spirit? It says hover is beholder king only. Hmm. Eye ray on the bottom as well. Can a mind flayer fly and levitate? It's a. I well, I to be honest, I think because it's a spirit, it innately flies. Is the way that I see it. Sorry, 1 second, because I was just reading. It says it it resembles. It isn't exactly the creature. So yeah, I'm gonna. It's a bit. It doesn't come with a picture. Hmm. All right. So yeah, it basically I will say it's gonna fly. So we're to what vermin is and attack it. Did you say 3 times? 2 times. All right. Go ahead and do your worst, spirit. A 20 hits. Oh, okay, that's not bad. Whittling it away as one little rat falls out the sky, being clutched by a winged insect. It drops to the ground dead. What else are you going to do on your turn, Valrus? Okay, then that brings us to the top of round 3. And we have Dusted Coal, followed by Yelena. It's like 10 feet. Roll a perception check for me. All right. Taking into account the fact that it took off and you can see this infestation in front of you, it looks like it's leapt into the air as a group all grabbing onto each other like a swarm might link arms. They are at the peak of the trajectory, so they look like in the next 5 feet they're going to be coming down towards Yelena. Mm-hmm. Oh, all right. Nice. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, nice. Oh, okay. As you run. I don't even know if this thing's landed an attack on Lunan yet. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. That's a hit. Nice. Critical hit. Okay. Um, that brings Dusted to the end as he runs across, leaving the vermin infestation behind, dealing critical damage on this disgusting creature in front of him. Which brings us to Yolena. Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Look at that crit. Oh, and a 25. That's a good hit. And a 28. Holy cow. Oh, and you can choose a direction, can you? Then, then, mm, so that's 10, and you're doing it 2 times, yes? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So which one are you doing it 3 times? All right. Oh, wow. Looks too bad you don't have the force key, huh? So how much total damage? 46. Nice. All right. Roll a perception check for me, please. Yelena, as you strut across the sands in line with this creature, you throw out 3 Eldritch blasts and the bolts fly across and slam into this creature. With each hit, it shrieks as it gets knocked back 10 feet. This gargantuan monstrosity. And as the bolts land into it, your bright necrotic damage. Now that you've hit it a second time, you notice it doesn't seem to recoil or be phased by that second flurry of necrotic damage at all. The creature is now officially bloodied. Okay. Then that will bring us to Lunan, followed by the creature. Hmm. Ooh, okay. An intelligence saving throw. It is incapacitated, isn't it? How long was it incapacitated for? Just let's add that on there as well. All right. 9 points, yes? Jesus. Yeah, no, it can't take an action, a bonus, or a reaction, so it can move. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Is that the end of your turn? Okay. All right then. Next up is the creature. And the first thing it is going to do is burrow underground. All right. Then next up is the flying vermin that lands there. And that brings us to Valrus. Okay. What's the range on the burst? Oh, crikey. That's a hit as well. Oh, okay. Nice. Mm-hmm. All right. 2 slams, yeah? Mm-hmm. 2 is a miss. Yeah, 6. That definitely hits. Nice. All right. A lot more of these little creatures and rodents seem to be falling along the wayside as the swarm begins to get ever smaller with the more damage you do to it. What else would you like to do in your turn, sir? Okay, which brings us to the top of round 4. Dusted coal. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. All right. Then that'll bring us to Yarlena. Alright. I only needed to understand blast little bugs. 27 hits. 24 hits. Look at that. Two 27s. Wow, you're on fire tonight with these dice. Cool. 31 points. As it's almost like target practice at this stage for you. You just start blasting bolts. And creatures just disintegrate in front of you. That was 31, yes? Alright, it has 26 HP left. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm. Nice. Carapace cookies. Mmm. The crunchy being the sand. Delicious. Alright, Yelena, anything else on your turn? Okay, then that brings us to Lunan. Just 20 something hit points worth. Nice. A 26. Do you know what? I'll give. Alright, with the bugs gone, Lunan, the last one screeches as it drops to the ground. There is nothing remaining. What next? Alright, that's your turn. So, let's just... It doesn't have disadvantage because it didn't get to act last turn, correct? It is the strength. The incapacitated is worn off as well. Is that right? All right. And Yelena, the strength disadvantage. Okay, excellent. All right. I think Lunan has worked out what is happening here. As it bursts up and out of the sands, thinking it would have well been out of range. Yelena, roll a perception check for me. All right. You can almost swear that as you were running across the sand to the other side, that you saw puffs of sand almost trailing towards you from Lunan. Given that this area that you're standing in is bright light as well, you've seen this like small trail of smoke, almost, I say smoke, like dust, flitting up as if something below the sand has been burrowing straight after you. The creature bursts up out of the sands, and as it does, it almost screams again. Where's my screams? It screams again as it realizes it's landed in sunlight again. Someone has thwarted its plans to eat you, or at least just give you a serious lashing with its almost writhing tentacles that lash out from its head. The first thing it will do, though, when it comes out amongst the screech, is it's going to roar, Yelena. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw with a DC of 18, please, or be frightened. A 25 is certainly good enough to save. As you stand your ground, this creature then lashes out. It's going to hit you with 2 tentacles. It actually gets disadvantage on its attack rolls. So I'm going to roll 2d20, so that's a 7 plus 16, so it's a 23 for its lowest roll. Okay. And that'll be 3d6 plus 9. So that's the first hit, which is 20 points of necrotic damage. And then I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw, as the tentacle wraps around you and you can almost feel the necrotic energy seeping into your skin. It does not, no. Correct. Let me double check. You've got the necrotic, which is... You get advantage on saving throws to the damage type listed. If you're... And then while tuned to the key, you can reroll any ones when you inflict this type of damage via a spell or an effect. Constitution saving throw, please. The DC was 18. All right. That means that you're going to be paralyzed until the end of your next turn. Let me... And it is going to be, won't it? Let me just double... Do I even need to... Let me double check. I went to the wrong place. So literally, you'll be incapacitated, and you automatically fail Dex and Strength saves. Attack rolls have advantage. Any attack that hits is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. Okay. Right. It is not going to be a critical hit. This thing has got a 15-foot radius, a 15-foot reach, so it wouldn't be up close like that. Its bite has got a 10-foot reach, so it won't be a crit because it's not within 5 feet of you. But it does have advantage on its attack, which cancels out the disadvantage that it has from the sunlight. And let's just double check. Yeah, that's the only... Alright, so just a normal attack. And that is a 10 plus 16 is 26. Alright, so this is going to be necrotic damage again plus 9. So that's 20 again. And you've already failed your constitution saving throw, so I'm not going to ask you to redo it. Nice. My goodness. Okay. All right. So, as the creature bursts up out of the stands, it ends its turn in the sunlight. Lunan, does it need to make another save? And that was... remind me what it needs to save. Wisdom. Constitution. Alright, it gets plus 13. So it gets 24. Mm-hmm. 6 damage, yeah. Okay. I mean, it's still bloodied, but it's going strong. Which brings us to Valrus. Dexterity. 18, alright. He gets plus 11. So he gets a 28. Does he have disadvantage? Yeah. Sorry. What would it have done? But it could have done loads, right? Ah, poor guy. He would have been disintegrated. How many slots have you got? Anything else on your turn? Mm-hmm. Nice. That's a hit. Correct. $20. Nice. All right. The creature is now definitely below a third. Anything else, Valrus? All right. Then that'll bring us to the top of round 5. Dusted Coal, followed by Yelena. She did. Mm. It just ends. Uh-huh. Nice. Yeah, why not? Mm-hmm. That's it. Naughty creature. That's definitely a hit. Okay. Mm-hmm. Uh, that's a miss. That is a hit. Okay. All right. Then that brings us to Yelena. As she stands there, slightly mortified, having been just assaulted by tentacles. You almost watch in horror as if anything, if this thing even had a tongue and it was licking his lips looking at you, it would be doing that right now. Knowing now is the time for it to strike and devour you before the poison or the paralysis wears off. And as that happens, you almost seem to get the feeling back into your body as your turn ends and it is Lunan's go. Your for the paralysis, it's gone. Mm-hmm. No. Lun Lunan gave up the spotlight for you. Yeah. Yeah. But now, Yelena, it's gone. Mm-hmm. Oh. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh. Oh, that was what? I was the language I'd selected was Orc. So so translated it into Orcish. What the heck? But there's your flame strike. So I think you can roll the damage on the spell because it's embedded. Uh-huh. All right. Um, 17. Nice. Okay. Another 17. Nice. 17. And a dex save. Alright, he gets plus 11, so that's a 16. What was the DC? Nice. And that was for the flame strike. Okay. As you call on the power of Ayun, Lunan, does this pillar of flame just come from the heavens? How does it manifest? Mm-hmm. Okay. Almost like amazing. And as it does, the creature doesn't even see it. As it strikes, it can't move out of the way quick enough, dealing massive amounts of damage as the fire is then followed by burning radiant. It begins screaming, and as it finishes, it sets its eye upon you, Lunan. It is now on 35 hit points. Which brings us to... Is that the end of your turn? Okay. Alright. Having just been struck down by you, Lunan, this creature is pretty much mortified and very, very upset. Um, it's first going to deal with the threat in front of it. Mind you, with a 4 intelligence, the creature probably wouldn't realize you've cast that spell if it came from above. So it's going to look around confused, and it is going to attack. One attack on Yelena, and one attack on Dusted Coal, and one attack on the Spirit. Yeah. The whale. Um, it only happens on the start of the Spirit's turn. No. Ah, no, it's... Yeah, as soon as it starts its turn, it lets out a wail, and anything within 5 feet makes the save. That's... Yeah. Alright. So, it's going to attack one for each. It is going to... Yelena, it already knows it can paralyze you, so it's going to hit you again. And then it's going to go... Technically you are, but it gets a 19. As a shield appears. All right. Then it's going to do one tentacle attack on the kitty cat. And that is a plus 16. That's 24. All right, then I need you to make a DC 18 Constitution saving throw or be paralyzed. Uh-huh. It'll be 7 points of necrotic damage. Nope. Oh, sorry, plus 9. Yeah, 16. And then your... Oh, you saved with your con. Sorry, I was waiting for that, but you've already saved. Okay. Then its final attack, it is going to bite down on the spirit. And this is also plus 16. With a natural 1. Then it makes one of those like whistling sounds. Swing! As you bite into it. Alright. It is not going to move. That will bring us to the end of its turn. Felris. DC 18 intelligence save, so I need a nat 20. Minus 3 is 10. "19 points of damage as the creature shrieks, psychic damage as well. That puts it on. Okay. Ooh. Alright, using your action, you're going to throw the fireball bead at the creature, yes? It has 16 hit points. Well, what was the damage of that fireball bead? 8d6, my goodness. $16, you need to roll 32. Oh! That is an 18 as a save. So it takes 15 points of damage, which means it's on 1 HP left. Nice. And then the creature gets to roll on a wisdom save, yes? Oh, crikey, it gets plus 10. Gets 19 altogether. So close. No damage, it's still on 1 hit point. As we move. Oh, wait. It has 2 attacks. Oh, my goodness. Go on. Oh. At the top of the round, Dusted, as it's your turn, you look into this creature. Its eyes are like oily black sockets that just are begging to be stabbed. A 13 is a miss. A 20 is a hit. Excellent. As you hear, can you hear double beat? Why don't you describe for us how you managed to take down this creature, Dusted? Mm. It is gargantuan, isn't it? As you thrust forward and the creature does indeed collapse under your blade, slamming down onto the dunes as you roll out of the way, duck and cover. With a final chittering and a shriek, The creature ceases to be moving anymore. It's quiet. The dunes around. There's slightest of breeze. The smell from the fire slowly dying beckons you. Yeah, that's a good idea. Dustin, did you just roll a nat 20? Okay. Um, you are standing right in front of it. Its head is tilted to one side. It's got giant mandibles the length of your arm. Two great big, almost like fly-shaped eyes with lots of little facets so it can see different directions all at once. It's not so much made up of bones. It's more like a hard exoskeleton chitinous shell. And within each of the cracks that the shell has, you can see that there's like flesh, rotting flesh beneath it. Roll a medicine check for me. Nice. Okay. The creature, you give the creature a proper look at, a once over. Almost like a health check MOT. Sticking a couple of fingers where they don't belong as they sludge and slime gets on you, and you hear the squelching sounds, and as it pops out as well. How long would you say you're gonna check over this creature until you're satisfied? Okay. In the meantime, the rest of you, what are you doing? Lu mm-hmm. All right, dusted. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're gonna tend the fire. Yelena? Yeah. And Lunan? You said, remind me? You, that's it. Okay, that's it. Okay, grand. As the rest of you do that, Valrus, the creature itself is definitely an insect of some sort. It looks like it's mutated in some way. There is almost skin, thick skin below the chitinous shell. That below the shell, it seems to have cracked open, and this flesh within seems to rot deliberately, so that it can invite creatures in to eat and partake of its rotting flesh. The stench that follows this thing around is horrific. There are, in fact, why don't you roll a constitution saving throw for me to see whether or not you manage to retain anything or the contents of your stomach? Mm, okay. There we go. One or two little burps as you make your way around, but you know you've seen worse. And you certainly don't mind putting your hands in gooey, icky, disgusting feces, for example. So you quite pleasantly go around your work. The creature itself appears to have some inherent necrotic tendencies about it. As you look at some of the tentacles that come off the top of its head, you can almost feel the charged necrotic energies just laying there, slowly seeping away. It's got three distinct tentacles, which you could probably think of as brain stems as well, that it uses to lash out. The claws, or the mandibles, sorry, definitely bite down on a creature as well. That, with a 20, that begs the question. You decide to have a look at the contents of its stomach, and as you cut open inside, you can see it is empty. Most likely the creature was quite starving, hence the reason it attacked out in the open. Is, is there anything else that you would like to do? Okay. Mm-hmm. Roll a survival check for me. A 19. As you walk away from the campsite, sorry, towards the campsite, you stand around and lick your finger, stick it up in the air. Yeah, the wind is definitely blowing away towards the creature. The camp is set up quite nicely so that you won't be able to smell the creature where it lays. However, should the wind change, that would be a different story. And mm, Dustin's fine. He can't smell anything. Wow, that's pretty all right. Mm-hmm. Wow. Have experience, do you? Mm-hmm. Mm. I sup mm-hmm. Hmm. Fair enough. Oh, by the way, everyone gets inspiration. Yeah. Valrus, does Valrus have any cookery experience? Go ahead and roll a history check for me. Ah, okay. No, unfortunately, a 8 won't do it. Mm. Speak your mind, cat. Mm. That would solve things quickly. All right. So, Dustin, are you going to feed the populace some rations? That's fair. All right. Isn't it also a spirit animal? Mm-hmm. That's it, a fay. Meaning it doesn't need to eat? Mm-hmm. Rations are good enough, aren't they? Chef, let's see. Bolstering treats. If you have ingredients. Oh, cool. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's not bad. Oh, nice. All right. So, Dustin, then you serve up some rations. Um, Luna and I assume you're going to take up your watch. All right. And followed by Yelena. All right. At this point as well in the journey, this is where you do in fact get to have that long rest. So if you've got any spells, Luna, you wanted to add or swap around. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Nice. That would spoil it, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Can I get Lunan and Yelena to roll perception checks for their watch, please? Nice. I was talking to Falris's spell storing, not Yelena's roll. A 6 is not great. But quick question for Dustin, are you going to plan on preparing treats in the morning? Yeah, cool. All right, cool. Right, Lunan, your watch is it's quiet. At some point, the wind changes and you get a wafting of like rotting flesh that's also now mixed in with dying carcass. And thankfully, you manage to move around a little bit and shift so that you're sitting on the other side of the camp, and the stench doesn't seem to get you from there. The rest of your watch, however, passes by without any incident. I, I assume you wake up Yelena? Alright. Alright, Yelena. Probably distracted by this creature. It's got you thinking of things like, where did it come from? How have I never heard of it before? Oh, can we call it Cotton Eye Joe? Yeah, and at this point, your brain is just being a little bit slow. It's our long rest. This is the calm before the storm. Nonetheless, Yelena, whether anything happens on your watch or not, the sun slowly rises and camp is still here and you're still alive. Your watch passes without incident. All right. Do you wake the rest of them up? Lunan has already come out of his trance-like meditation before everyone else wakes up as well. Dustin wakes up and immediately sets about looking for his ingredients to start making his treats. As the rest of you begin to gear up to hop back onto the wagon. Yeah? Okay. With another day to go, the wagon sets out, and as you take to the day, the heat begins to rise again. You crest over a large dune when all of a sudden, ahead of you, you see a great big forest of cactus. Cacti covering the land ahead for literally up and down 2 dunes. It's like a forest of cacti, an expansive patch of thorns blocking your path. Are you going to navigate your way through or around it? You've come across a great big field of cactus in your way. Like it does roll. Well, mind you, yeah, no, you wouldn't be able to navigate through with some difficulty and losing at least a half a day. That's the one. You can try and make your way through and machete through it. I was thinking just fireball. Mm. Do you want to see if you can try and harvest some? Okay. Give me a proficiency check. What do you use for your cookery or your chef skill? Yeah, wisdom. Mm-hmm. Perfect. A 10 in total. Um, you know what? To get some basic ingredients for cactus, a 10 is all you need. I would probably say you'd be able to get enough cactus for 8 people without too much trouble. Give us a Give me a dex check. Not only do you easily manage to evade all of the spikes that are sticking out from the cactus, but you've managed to cut yourself some good fleshy pieces as well. Um, Give me a perception check or a nature check. Actually, a nature check. Lunan, with your passive perception, you can see these cacti aren't in full bloom. They haven't produced any fruit at all. Um, and Dusted, you've unfortunately not managed to pass your nature check. No. But what you do realize when you cut open the cactus is that there is almost water within it. The small hollow pockets inside some of these cacti, the large ones in any event. And you manage to scoop out a little drink. Tequila. All right. So, taking a detour, you lose a couple of hours as you manage to make your way around this cactus field. Dusted scuttles off and grabs a couple of ingredients and cuts some cactus and comes back to the cart quite happy and chipper. During the high rising heat of the day, you decide to rest in the shade of the wagon and the cart, erecting a bit of a tent to keep out of the sun. And as the sun begins to move away from its zenith, you hop back in and make your way towards Alar. With the sun sinking low behind you, the desert begins to almost pick up a bronze stain to it. The air is almost unnaturally still. Not the quiet of peace, but it almost feels as if there is some pressure building in the air. Slowly, you manage to get the elk to pull the wagon up over a rise in the desert, and ahead, the desert gives way to a distant glimmer of green. The small oasis of Allah stretches ahead of you as you spy it, about 3 miles away. But as you look upon it, you can notice something is wrong. Smoke already drifts faintly upwards, twisting in the windless air. And then a sound like tearing sky. From behind you, a great, big, almost blue, grey, shadowy form flies straight over your head. As it shoots across, the pressure and the wind wafts, blows your hair back, and sand turns up as it creates this almost like downward pressure of force. Grit and sand almost seem to rush up towards you. Everyone roll a dexterity saving throw in order to avoid the dust cloud eating grit. Yes. 18. Nice. Varus at 21. All right. Just in time, all of you manage to get a sleeve up just in front of your mouth and your eyes as a screech booms out ahead, and you look at a tailing dragon flying again up into the sky as it heads towards Allah, its scales gleaming almost white and iridescent blue, wings wide enough to cast shadow across half of the horizon. It banks low over the city, and all of a sudden, the horizon erupts with white fires. Jagged bolts of lightning lash from its jaws, striking the far wall of Allah. The sound of thunder cracking and pealing across the sky follows an instant later, rolling over the dunes towards you like a hammer blow. And even at this distance, you can see stone and sand exploding upwards. The creature then circles wide and dives again. This time, its breath tears right through the heart of Allah, lightning splitting the air, almost branching out into dozens of spears that stab through towers, domes, open windows, into buildings. Blue searing arcs of lightning, splitting palms in half. And then a storm of sand blooming outwards as it covers everything on the horizon. The creature then wheels a third time around. I need everyone to roll a perception check for me, please. A 16. A 22. Okay. Luna, what was yours total? Okay. So Valrus, you're the only person. Through the drifting haze, the dragon wheels once more. And what you see, Valrus, you've only heard stories. A shadowed figure is clinging to the back of this creature. It is easily 3 miles away, so you can't see any features, but you can make out a cloak flapping in the wind behind, and someone quite smaller than you would expect is seated on the back of the dragon. As it circles wide, diving again, its next breath carves across the southern quarter, striking through what you can only assume was the market district, as flaps of fabric fly up and burst into flame, and what appears to be tents and more bits of fabric, and the crashing sounds of pottery and the screams of people. The sand beneath your boots trembles from the sounds. A steady living pulse of screaming that just hums in your chest. And with one last pass, the dragon climbs high, where storm clouds gather where they once weren't before. And as it flaps in the center of the stormy hurricane, it breathes one final torrent of lightning down into Alar. And satisfied, the dragon then heads northwest. And I think that is where we're going to end tonight's session.